I have chosen to talk about the animation about Elden Ring and all other Soulsborne games. It is called the Soulsborne Family Reunion, which is a 3-minute and 51-second video which goes through what the creator and a lot of the community think would happen if the whole cast of bosses from all the games met together, and it's a really interesting concept due to how different all the Souls games are yet at the same time, all unique in their own ways, and as someone who has played or just knows a lot about all of the games, it's funny to see a lot of different references to all of the different games. An example of this would be one boss named the Nameless King who rides a dragon, meets one of the biggest and the strongest dragon from Elden Ring, and his eyes just kind of glow up as if he wants to ride the dragon, which is only something you would be able to understand if you have context about the bosses. A second reference would be the section for Melania, which for people who have played Elden Ring will pick up on instantly, as when she walks through the door, they take the audio directly from the game I Am Melania Blade of Mikkel, which is the audio that plays when the player dies against Melania, showing everyone who's played Elden Ring struggled with her boss fight and know that one voice line all too well. The main purpose of this video is defiantly for entertainment purposes, and I think it's perfect to doing this with there being plenty of references to look over, and with the format of the video being a cartoon comedy skit, I think it's a perfect fit. Some characteristics of this video is the VFX, which is very cartoony with a very simple design, which I think is perfect for it as it's not meant to be taken as if it's exactly what would happen, it's just a light-hearted interpretation of what could very well happen. The color schemes that they use are very nice, with them using brighter colors and putting more detail into characters with things like their weapons or armor that are the main focus of the episode, with the majority of these characters being the new bosses from Elden Ring being introduced, which I think is a great use of color theory as this adds more depth to the episode. And adds more to look about, as if you actually look around there's a lot of character with references that are looked over. I think the best example of this would be the basic enemies, who are just the random guys no one remembers when running around, so they use very dull colors, and give them a depressing personality. Quickly again going into the target audience, this is heavily leaning towards avid fans of the Souls games, as too much of the video would go over people's heads otherwise, and it wouldn't be very funny. The legality of this video is very simple. I don't see many problems that could come up with this video legally, as it's a very jokey video. However, there could be a little copyright problem with the fact that making animations based on a game is dipping your toe.
Choose to say in copyright, as it can be seen as copyright. However, if it's different enough from the game itself, with in his case it say just about is different enough thanks to the subtlety made references and jokes his world also link into the ethical constraints of his video, because it is the question, is it right to make a video like his without permission? Even if it is in a harmless manner, it could still be seen as wrong to do so. Other hand history is nothing had people watching his video holdings epic from the matter rating of the games it's based on.
The second video I've gone with to compare with is an interesting choice of the new Elden Ring's DLC trailer video showing the Shadow of the Erdtree, which is a 3-minute and 7-second video, and its purpose is to get everyone excited for the new content they'll be adding to the game. The main excitement comes out the fact it's got a release date everyone can wait for. Other than this, it's obviously going over a few things from areas, weapons, and bosses that'll be added, so the main purpose of this video is to inform and entertain, but mainly promoting their new content, which I think they did very well. This is very different compared to the previous video, as this is purely for promoting and informing, whereas the previous video is a complete cartoon comedy skit. A characteristic of this trailer, which I think is near perfection, is the framing, which is done exultantly, and I think this is very important for a trailer, because you want to show off things without showing too much, which I think they do perfect. A great example of this would be at the end of the trailer they show a very anticipated character's hand and hair for a split second in a very mysterious way, which makes you question what you're doing, but at the same time, the whole trailer is based around this character, and the voiceover in the character is talking about this character almost the whole time, which brings up even more questions about what could they be doing. The actual content of the trailer shows mostly the new bosses that are to be expected, and lots of new weapons, spells, and even new area being as big as castles to swamps. This is where the main source of entertainment comes from, as there's lots of things that we can infer because of this, and try find out more about the DLC than is actually shown along with the visual content. The dialogue over the video can be very overlooked, especially if you don't understand what they mean, as they do speaking using words not very commonly heard anymore, with things like the, lordship, or thou, which makes Understanding what the dialogue is about that little bit harder, however, it's very fun making theories about. Along with all this, the audio and visual effects are very good, with the music highlighting specific characters' impact by changing speed, getting louder or more quiet, or even getting more intense, which is done very well. In addition to this, the images shown are cleverly shown, as you can really tell what the main aspects of the trailer are, as they clearly show what's more important, with close-up shots and leaving mysteries while still giving good information to go off to make theories. Also, the actually scenery of the DLC looks incredible and just adds on to the excitement. This is obviously very primary targeted at people who have played Elden Ring and want more of new content to play in the game. However, this doesn't mean it can't bring new people into wanting to play the game, then along with this play the DLC when it comes out. However, this would still mean you have some sort of interest in the game. Legally, this trailer is all good, as a big thing about trailers must add is an ages rating, which is this first thing the trailer shows, which is PEGI 16, because of the elements of violence with large blood effects and dead bodies. Defiantly, a mature rating for this game is needed. The ethical constraints for the trailer wouldn't quite be known just yet with how much limited information you get from the trailer. However, there are some things, such as if they cut content from the trailer and it wasn't actually in the game, this wouldn't be seen as ethical and would mean we were overpromised content. However, I do doubt this would happen purely because of the 2+ years they've taken to make this DLC. This leads into the other ethical point, being the high price tag for a DLC, this being £40, which is a high price for normal games, let alone a DLC. However, it's because the fact they've been working on it for so long, and there's so much content, it could be classed as a whole new game, so I don't personally see this a problem. However, lots of people have expressed they are very unhappy about this. So overall, these two different videos are very different, but obviously being about the same game has lots of similarities at the same game. So starting off with some of the biggest differences would be the purpose of the videos, with the first video of the fan animation being for entertainment, but mainly comedy, is very different from the trailer video, which does also have the purpose of entertainment. However, the main point of the video is defiantly for promotion of the DLC. Other than this, the characteristics are quite different, with the fan animation being a cartoon compared to the gameplay animations of the trailer are very different. However, I think this fits for the purpose of both of the videos. Moving on to a big similarity of these video is the fact they're very tailored to fans of the game, as both of the creators are aware of how fans of the game love mysteries to figure out or references to find, which is a big thing in the community, as there's just so much content and things going on in these games. Other than this, they both are made with the purpose to entertain the watcher, which is very normal for a video, of course. However, the way they go around what content they put out, they know how to entertain fans of the game in particular.